The PlayStation 1, one of my favorite retro consoles to ever exist. There's just something so fascinating about the history of PlayStation, the whole Nintendo and PlayStation beef. This is such a good console. Sony truly was dominating just everything with the PlayStation 1. The design of the PS1 is super nice to me. First of all, the gray is just iconic. Second of all, the logo just adds such a nice pop of color. And honestly, I think that the PS1's design has aged really well. Now, this isn't the one with all of the cables that you can use as a CD player. As much as I want that one, this was just the one that my local retro game store had. But honestly, design-wise, they are pretty much the same. And I love this thing. Something about old consoles just doing this, 10 out of 10. I wish we still had this. It's so satisfying. The PlayStation 1 had so many legendary games. It's honestly a no-brainer that PlayStation ended up being one of the greatest. You got games like Final Fantasy VII, Spyro, Crash Bandicoot, Resident Evil, Parappa, literally peak right here. And low-key, if you think about it, early PlayStation consoles were sort of rhythm game powerhouses. Like I said, there was Parappa, but there was also Vib Ribbon. The PSP had Project Diva, Patapon. Sony just kind of had all the good rhythm games. But specifically on the PS1, this is just iconic. I definitely miss the era where Sony was super wide ranged with their games, you know what I mean? As in, like, they had so many mascot games as well as their more serious, realistic type of games, because they had all the playful mascots, like I said, Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, Parappa, and then they'd go on to have like Sly Cooper, Jack and Daxter, all of that jazz. There was just something really special about early PlayStation that I love. There's so much that I feel is missing nowadays, but I guess we'll get to that when I get to the PS5. Now, I did not grow up a PlayStation kid. All of my knowledge of PlayStation comes from pretty much the internet. I grew up on the complete opposite end with Xbox and Nintendo, but my boyfriend did grow up on PlayStation. So I feel like he would have a lot more to say about later consoles like the PS3 and up. But I really like learning about the early days of gaming companies. I think that the PlayStation 1 is a really interesting console to learn about. They really nailed the controller design as well. I know this is the version with joysticks. Come on, this is such a good design. A design so good they kept it for years, decades even. We got the shapes for buttons. I can't even imagine playing Parappa with A, B, X, and Y. The shapes just kind of fit the vibe of the PS1. And of course it fits it onward, but I feel like these shapes were such a smart move. It just works so well. PS1, home to iconic games. Did I mention Metal Gear? I think I forgot to mention Metal Gear. Metal Gear Solid was on this console. I mean, Solid Snake, goated. Honestly, my memory's kind of failing me right now, but I do love the PS1. And I will forever love older consoles for having this form factor, like the Dreamcast and the GameCube. I'm sure there's a reason why many consoles don't have the top disc loader anymore, but man oh man, do I miss putting in a game and just clicking it down like that. Love this console. Timeless design and all. So good. We move on. Unfortunately, I do not have a PS2 with me. If I did, you already know I would go on talking about Parappa. We do have the big boy. The PlayStation 3. Now, oh man, we do... Now I do have the fat one. This bitch is heavy. With my noodle little arms, this is just ever so slightly heavier than the fat PS5. But oh man, they sure did nail this like weird futuristic design, didn't they? This looks like a building. The last PlayStation to have the colorful logo as well. I honestly don't know what to say about the PlayStation 3. This thing is huge, but you know, there was also the Slim. PSP came out around this time and was the little partner console to the PS3. Project Diva games are very good. I only really remember the PS3 because of its huge competition with Xbox and how so many games from the like late PS2, early PS3 era had a very gray aesthetic. But you know, the PS3 had so many so many good games. This was such a good era of games. Little Big Planet 2, Heavy Rain, and Beyond Two Souls. I actually really like Beyond Two Souls. Did you guys see that Beyond Two Souls is getting a TV adaptation? That's crazy to me. The Last of Us, The Walking Dead, Red Dead Redemption, BioShock Infinite, GTA 5. Can't forget all the Batman games that came out during this time. Killzone, Uncharted, God of War. I feel like the PS2 was very iconic, and then the PS3 was like, alright, now PlayStation is becoming a freaking powerhouse in gaming, if that makes sense. Because I do feel like, oh man, I wish I had a PS2. I feel like the graphical upgrade from the PS1 to the PS2 was so massive, and then every other console was sort of having that same momentum. And then during the PS3 and 360 era is when it was starting to become, when everything started to get its style, is what I think I'm trying to say. And so many PS3 games were sort of along this path of like realistic and brown. But that's not a bad thing. Everyone loves the PS3 and 360. Now, like I said, I was a 360 kid around this time, so I don't have any crazy memories about the PS3, but oh man, was this such a good era of gaming. Alright, now I gotta lift this away. PlayStation 4. Now, this is where we're starting. Now, I had the Glacier White PS4 Pro. I don't have it anymore. Do I kind of regret selling it a little bit? But it was the white PS4 Pro that I thought was really nice. This was my boyfriend's PS4. Little scratched up. You can tell this was well loved. Now, this is definitely where PlayStation's truly did start to find their footing. However, Ghost of Tsushima, Spider-Man, Horizon Zero Dawn, God of War Ragnarok. This is sort of PlayStation's winning era. So many good things, but also a lot of IPs lost. So many new awesome IPs, and then so many old IPs lost. We sort of lost all of that like mascot charm from the PS1, PS2 era. Sort of paved the way for newer IPs that really pushed how video games can look. And I think that's really cool. But I am still wishing for like a new Sly Cooper and Parappa. Also, the controller. We got a new controller this era. The DualShock 4 with the touchpad. I cannot stress how many times I keep on clicking the share button instead of the middle button, because I keep on thinking of like start and select. I still do this on occasion, but I think that's just because I swap consoles a lot. This really was PlayStation's winning console, if we're being honest. Moving on. The PlayStation 5. Now, in my apartment, we actually have a PS5 Slim right there. But that one is currently in use and I didn't want to unplug it. So I have the fat PS5. Why do I have two PS5s? Well, because this is the big one that started to have that liquid metal leak problem. So yeah, PlayStation 5. Holy moly, was this a pain to watch release. We all remember those outages, the lines in front of GameStop. Oh, those lines in front of GameStop were crazy. I remember going to my local GameStop for, I believe it was like Splatoon 3. Hold on, let me look this up. For a Switch game, and there was this huge line in front, and it's because that GameStop restocked PlayStation 5s. While I was there, I saw my boyfriend's grandma in line trying to get him and his brother a PlayStation 5. I remember I stood in line with them and they were giving out like extra controllers, which is why we got the purple controller. But that was a very, very long line. And let me tell you, that employee was surprised to see I wasn't even there for a PS5. So many generations had like defining looks, but the PS5 and Series X type of games just all look very similar to PS4 with just like very little upgrade. The PlayStation 5 has a lot of quality of life features, though I do really miss themes and just overall a little bit of personality in these consoles. I do really like the PS5 controller. This is a very, very, very nice controller. The triggers being adaptive to literally everything is really cool. I think it can get a little annoying, but I think it's still a really cool feature that definitely spices up the experience. Going from a Series X game to a PS5 game, especially one where you have to shoot and use the trigger and it resists, is like a whole other experience. I really like the mic being in the controller. It sort of reminds me of when the 360 would come with a microphone and then you just have like a bunch of kids with mics in your game. This is sort of the same effect to me and it's kind of funny. I also really like the fact that it has a speaker. I know I feel like that's kind of a common thing. Did the PS4 have speakers? Yeah, it had speakers. I'm a big fan of the futuristic design that they're going for. It does kind of remind me of the PS3 futuristic style. The PS4 kind of just looked like a console to me, but the PS5 and PS3 stand out, especially the Slim with its curvy ass, the disc drive. Yeah, this is all really nice. I like that the PS5 is customizable with the plates. That is a really nice touch. Honestly, that's kind of all I have to say about the PS5. Those are my PlayStation consoles. A lot of the PlayStation games are actually my boyfriend. I hope you enjoy that. Let's move on to the games. Almost forgot to show off that we do have the VR2. This is my first VR headset, and honestly guys, VR is kind of crazy for me, but I do eventually want to start playing like Beat Saber on this or something. This is an unusual spot. Welcome to the PlayStation shelf. I spent quite a while making this shelf look nice. I was not about to take everything down again. As I've stated before, me and my boyfriend share a PlayStation collection. A lot of these games are his, and a few of them are mine, which is why I didn't initially show them in my video game collection. However, my boyfriend was very excited when he found out that I was going to make this video. I think we should just get started. This shelf is so much taller than me. This is my boyfriend's PSP. I got this as a gift for him for his birthday a few years ago, I believe. This is the fat model, so it's a little thick, but honestly, I kind of like the extra grip it gives you. I also really like that it has if I can do it. I also really like that it can do that. I love the little button click on that. It's awesome. But yeah, this PSP just kind of stays up here with the PS5 games. Next to mine, here is my PSP as I've shown in my handheld video. This is the last model that they made. I believe it's the 3000. This is the model where you just kind of have to pull that out of there for the UMD to come out. I have Sims Castaway still in there. Recently, I saw a TikTok that was along the lines of me scrolling past my 16th video of a PSP with a keychain on it, and to that I say, I use this. As cutesy as it is, I do use this. We're gonna go through all the games, you know, do a little tour. Here's our PS2 game. This was one of my boyfriend's childhood games. Since we're up here, I guess I'll do the PS5 games. I think this is an amazing start. We have Concord. You know what? This would make a good thumbnail. Hold on. All right. We have Concord. Now, we all know how this goes. This is sealed, and it sounds like the disc isn't even... I don't think the disc is even, like, attached in there. We got this copy when they announced that Concord was shutting down immediately. We went to our local Walmart, got this, because they were still selling them, even though some places were not selling them anymore. But this is a very interesting part of our collection. What else is there to say about Concord? Speaking of weird ass games, Forspoken. This is another one that is sealed and we just have it for shits and giggles. I am constantly forgetting about this game. Find Your Fight. The Last of Us Part 1. Stray. Goated ass game. Spider-Man 2. Launch Edition, of course. Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Saints Row, Outriders, NHL 2024, Hitman. I didn't know that the physical copies of Hitman come with different cards. That's pretty cool. Helldivers 2, very good game. Game so good it's in the PS5 right now. I'm so short. Oh, God of War Ragnarok. Gotta say it's launch edition. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. This was a birthday gift from him to me. I've yet to finish this game actually, but so far it is very, very good. It's just very long. Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, probably one of my favorite games of 2023. Cannot go wrong with more Jet Set Radio-like games. I honestly hope we get another one of these. Balatro. This one came with the cards. Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. This is my boyfriend's copy of it because I played on Xbox and I really wanted him to play it with me. So I got this one for him. Astrobot, Game of the Year. One of the best things Sony has put out in a minute. Very, very good game. And the physical version of Astrobot comes with like the mini comic inside. I really like that Astrobot is one of those games that you can tell they appreciate physical media. Ooh, you can tell they appreciate physical media too. Because this is awesome. This is why we love physical media. And of course, that's my boy right there. A Plague Tale Innocence. This one's really interesting. Another Crab's Treasure. I actually made the cover art for this copy of the game, and I had it printed out through an Etsy seller because there is currently no physical copy of Another Crab's Treasure. This was one of his birthday gifts. I put a gift card in here for Another Crab's Treasure, but honestly, the case turned out really good. From a distance, you can't tell. You know we need that aggro crab seal of quality. So that about does it for all of the PS5 games. Let's scoot on down a bit to the PS4 game. On this shelf, we have the Portal. As funky as the Portal looks to me, it's actually surprisingly comfortable. This is where we have a lot more stuff. Let's start with the PSP games over here. These three were in my physical game collection video, but I'm still going to show them here. This is the newest addition to the PSP collection, and it is Patapon. This is actually still sealed. I'm tempted to open it. You know what? I'm going to play it. Let's open it. Actually playing my physical games, so unsealing them is nothing to me. Alright, that is gonna upset someone later. I will be playing this, so... Oh, hell yeah. Patapon! That is such a cute little UMD. Look at that, a brand new UMD in all of its shiny, unscratched glory. Wow. Now that is amazing. Of course, the PS3 ad. I love that art inside. That's so cute. The little pamphlet with a Parappa ad in the back. I miss instruction manuals so much. This one has no cover, but honestly, at this rate, I'm just gonna print one out. We have Crazy Taxi in here. Parappa, because of course we would. I believe this was sealed too when I got it. Parappa. He needs a comeback, and I will make it happen. Leave it to me. I will bring Parappa back. Here's the UMD. Also pretty scratch-free. PS3 ad. Love the design of the instruction manual for Parappa. It's so good. Look at him doing a little dance. Sims 2 and Sims 2 Castaway. Let's do PS3. Infamous 2 and Uncharted. These ones came in the little paper sleeves, which I didn't know existed until I got my boyfriend a PS3. We got some Transformers games. These are pretty new in our collection from one of my boyfriend's friends. Skylanders. Starting to think this may have been a little bit easier if I took them off the shelf. Minecraft for PS3. Can never go wrong with the classic edition of Minecraft. Or is this called Legacy Edition? Console Legacy? You know what I mean? Little Big Planet 2 includes over $35 of bonus content. The GOAT. Cry 4. Limited Edition. Fallout New Vegas. This one has a Brink ad in it. That's crazy. Destiny 1. Batman Arkham Origins. And those are the PS3 games. Uncharted 4 and Lost Legacy. The Division 2. Skylanders Superchargers. Resident Evil Village. No Man's Sky. Nickelodeon Kart Racers. Neo The World Ends With You. Good ass game. It's always on sale, you should play it. Killzone, It Takes Two, Infamous Second Son, GTA 5. Every collection needs a GTA 5. Final Fantasy 15, Day 1 Edition. The only thing that makes the Day 1 Edition special is it has this cool little insert. Fallout 76, Doom 2016, Destiny 2. This right here is my boyfriend's most played game. He has, I'm gonna butcher this, I want to say like 4,000 hours in total of Destiny 2. I'm gonna have to fact check that though. Destiny 1 again, the Legendary Edition. Battlefront 2, Astrobot VR, Goat, oh god, and Anthem. Oh lord. Oh wait, forgot about Batman Arkham Knight. Now I need to regather. Alright, I fixed it. So that is pretty much everything. I do have a couple steelbooks down here. We got the Destiny 2 steelbook. I really like how this one looks. We got Final Fantasy 15. Big fan of the art style on this one. And Guardians of the Galaxy. Also one of my favorite games of all time. I really like the steelbook on this one. So now we're done with all the games. I do want to show off some of the controllers again. Of course, I'm going to show off the anniversary controller. I did mention this controller in my controller collection video. My boyfriend actually got me this for Valentine's Day. I am very, very happy with this one. I'm a big fan of the reflections and how at some angles it looks kind of green, but then some angles it's like just pearly. I don't know. I really like this. And lastly, the purple controller. Here's what the top of our shelf looks like. We have the PS5 boxes up there. We have a Destiny 2 Collector's Edition up here. So this is where all of the controllers sit, right next to the games right there. Here's a bit of a longer shot of the shelf. We have more games down there, but that's not what this video is about. My dad made that painting. Love that. So what did we learn today, folks? I have way too many games. I have way too many consoles, but that's okay. I hope you all enjoyed this video. But yeah, have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Like birds of a feather, we fly together, rock together. Want us to stop? Yes, whatever. Slowly rain, willingness maintains forever. Seasons change, you know you can't change the weather. One by one, side by side we stand, forever in your arms, together in hands. Life's like a roller coaster ride. A second you hide, you give it a try, you get down.